Hi everyone, the Greek Goddess of Great Reading here. Today I will be reviewing a classic once again, The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Published to unprecedented acclaim, The Color Purple established Alice Walker as a major voice in modern fiction. This is the story of two sisters, one a missionary in Africa and the other a child wife living in the South, who sustain their loyalty to and trust in each other across time, distance, and silence. Beautifully imagined and deeply compassionate, this classic novel of American literature is rich with passion, pain, inspiration, and an indomitable love of life. I didn't know what to expect from this book because I expected it to be sort of like a race wars type thing, just because it was one of the books that was on my banned books list that I reviewed this year, and I pretty much added every single book from that list to my to-be-read list, and The Color Purple is the first one that I'm tackling from that list. So I expected it to be, I guess, a little more controversial. Of course, there's still controversy. You're going to find that in a lot of books concerning Black people back in the South, especially in like the 1920s. So The Color Purple tells the story of two sisters. It follows one of the sisters quite closely through the beginning of the book, Celie, who pretty much is a child bride for this man in the South and just takes care of his children, takes care of his house throughout her life until she meets a whole bunch of other people through her life, like her stepson's wife, Sophia, her husband's mistress, Shug Avery, this girl Squeak, lots of different people in her life, lots of strong women that help her in turn be strong. Her sister Nettie left home after Celie was married off and went with two missionary, their family, and then their two young adopted children. And she went off to Africa and looked after a tribe known as the Olinkas and built schools for them, taught their children, gave them medicine, and tried to teach them religion. And after a while, we do see some correspondence between Celie and Nettie. That's kind of how the story goes at the beginning. Celie's always writing letters to God, "Dear God," and then it tells the story. But after she discovers that Nettie has been writing to her for a long time, she starts to write to Nettie, and Nettie is writing to her, telling her her adventures in Africa. I really admire this book because, not just for the fact that it's about colored women living in a time when colored people, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say colored, when black people were, not exactly regarded as high society, looked down upon by white people. I really appreciated the strong female characters in it because even though they were suppressed in terms of their race, they were not by any means going to be suppressed in terms of their gender. Sophia is one of the strong female characters in this book. She is married to Celie's stepson, Harpo. And she, nope, you're gonna beat me? No thank you, I'm gonna beat you right back. You just see Celie, because Celie she just lets her husband do whatever to her, beat her, whatever he wants essentially. She won't say anything about it because she's not as strong as Sophia is. But Sophia, if Harpo tries to beat her, well, you just see them tumbling on the floor and her giving him right back to him. That was a terrible punch. But I really admired all those strong characters, even the ones who you think are quite meek at first. There's this one girl who comes into the story, her nickname is Squeak, but so kind of to permeate that she's mouse-like, sort of shy and quiet and small, but eventually even she becomes strong in her own way, leaving home and going about and working on her own, finding different men to sort of, I guess, help her out and bring her along with them, but all for her own benefit, which is sneaky, like a mouse. But I guess that's one of the strong characteristics of a mouse. You really see Celie's character development throughout this novel because at the beginning she won't even speak any ill words to her husband or to her father or anything like that, and they have not been the nicest people to her throughout her life. But as you go on, you see she starts to give her husband a piece of her mind, not exactly beating him, but she feels braver because of these other strong women who are always with her and supporting her throughout her life. Even her sister Nettie, who's so far away in Africa, she still feels that support from her and eventually allows her to be strong enough to do what she wants to do and not have to answer to her husband all the time. I really enjoyed this book. I know I said I wouldn't do another review this year, but I finished it so quickly that, and plus it is the holidays, I should have expected I would have been able to get one more book in. It's just such a great novel. I really hope you people out there in the universe pick it up if you haven't already. Most of you, I'm assuming, have read it, and let me know what you think in the comments. So this is officially my last review. I'll be putting up one more video tomorrow probably of my top 10 books of 2014. Happy New Year to everyone, and until next time, keep reading.